Hello, welcome to the Stretford Enders. This is your latest Manchester United news. There's a few things I want to talk about on the show this evening. I want to talk about the appalling result against Brentford yesterday, and I also want to talk about the Glazers as well. So let's get straight into the show. Let's start with yesterday's result. I mean, the performance that the United players put in yesterday was absolutely appalling. I mentioned in my pre-match video a few days ago that these United players need to start playing well in the first half. We've seen it a lot of last season where the players were just deciding not to show up in the first half, just start playing well when they want to. No, but it's a brand new season. Surely these players would want to prove a point to Ten Hag and say to him that you prove that they're good enough to be picked by Eric Ten Hag. But these players, they're not fit to wear the shirts. Watching that performance yesterday, they're not fit. They're definitely not fit to wear the shirt, and it's worrying. We're 2 games into the season, and we've already conceded 2 goals. We got Liverpool a week Monday. If Brentford can do that to us in the first half, what are they going to? What are Liverpool going to do to us? And there was a lack of belief, there was a lack of confidence, there was a lack of everything in that first half yesterday. We got completely played off the park by Brentford. It was like watching men versus boys. They would, it looked like they were the top 6 team, and we looked like a bottom half of the league team yesterday. Absolutely appalling. And you could see it from the body language. There was players who looked like a few players just looked like they didn't want to be there yesterday. David De Gea was definitely to blame for the first goal. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have been doing a lot better. And a lot of people said he was to blame for the second goal that we conceded as well. But Eric Ten Hag in that first half yesterday just looked completely clueless, just didn't know what to do with this group of United players. We were slightly better in the second half, but after that first half performance, I just knew there was no way back into that game. It is getting to a point now where it's worrying and it's embarrassing. I supported United for over 30 years. There's going to be United fans out there who supported United a lot longer than me. We've all seen the years, the glory years under Sir Alex Ferguson, and it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking to see when you look at the history of this football club. It's heartbreaking to watch this football club just falling apart in front of us. And it comes down to a number of things. It comes down to the mentality of the pitch, the players, the attitude of the players. I think we've got a lot of players at this football club where we've got a lot of big eagle players, players who think that they're bigger than Manchester United, and when you've got players like that, they shouldn't be playing for the football club. The quality of players that we got on the pitch isn't good enough. I said it last week. Scott McTominay and Fred, they shouldn't be getting anywhere near this Manchester United starting 11, and neither should a few other players. But at this moment in time, Eric Ten Hag has got no options. Martina, we brought in a few players. Christian Eriksen on a free. I think he'll do very well at Manchester United. We brought in Martinez. Martinez looked lost on that pitch in the first half. He was getting bullied in the first half, and he definitely struggled. And I think that was the reason why he was brought off at half time. But I thought Eric Ten Hag got it tactically wrong yesterday. When you look at the players that we put out there, he put out a very small team yesterday. So I think Eric Ten Hag he's going to have to go away and analyse what he got wrong tactically yesterday, because there's a massive difference between managing Ajax and managing Manchester United in the Premier League. But I was hoping that we'd see some kind of response yesterday after the poor result against Brighton, but there was nothing at all. There was no Manchester United player that played well yesterday, and it's really frustrating it is really frustrating to watch. And just going back as well on the quality of players, that just comes down to poor recruitment, decisions made from the board, from the owners, and the Glazers need to go. They need to sell. They need to stop destroying the football club, stop running the football club into the grounds. They need to sell and go as soon as possible. They're not wanted by Manchester United fans. They're not wanted. They're not welcome at Manchester United. When you look at the amount of money that they've taken out of the football club, the poor decisions that they've made within this football club. They know nothing about football. Yes, they were there last Sunday against Brighton, but that was all. I think that was all to do with the fact that it was a new season and got a new manager, and just making it look good for them that they pretended to support Ten Hag. But they need to go, and they need to go now, because the longer that they run this football club, the worse it's going to get. Because after that result yesterday, are they going to get the checkbook out and go and spend 200 million? I don't think they will. They'll wait. They'll wait for as long as they possibly can. A few days before the transfer window closes, and then they'll panic and think, shit, we need to start spending money, because that's all that matters to the Glazed, to these owners. It's not about the success on the pitch. It's all about making sure that we qualify for Champions League next season. It's all about money. It's all about how much money, how much revenue that they can bring in. And I think we've seen it over the last couple of transfer windows, where we've made some really poor decisions in regards to bringing in players, and it's simply not good enough. We're still miles away from Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham. They've all bought well, and I think the players that we've brought in, they haven't been Erik ten Hag's first priority signings. I think that they've all gone, and now we're going down to the bottom of the barrel, where the players that we're bringing in a third and second or third options, that shouldn't be happening at Manchester United. And if these owners actually cared about the football club, what they should have done when Erik ten Hag came into Manchester United, there should have been a massive meeting after what happened last season. There should have been a massive meeting, and there should have been something drawn out with what players they want, what players need to go, and the players who aren't good enough to play. But those players have been kept here. And at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag can go to the board and he can go to the owners and say, well, I want to bring these players in because I believe that these players have got the right quality, they've got the right attitude to come into Manchester United and turn things around. But at the end of the day, we've seen it before, where managers, previous United managers, have gone to the board and they've wanted certain players and they haven't got them. And I think that's definitely a brick wall that Erik ten Hag is going to face at Manchester United. The longer that these owners are at this football club, he is going to face a lot. He is going to face a lot of issues, and unless we spend big in the next couple of weeks in the transfer window, I think it's going to be another tough season, because we just haven't got we've got too many big ego players. We've got too many players we've got players at the club with an attitude problem. You've seen it yesterday with players throwing their arms around. Yes, it was frustration, but rather, walking on the pitch, throwing your arms around, do something, make things happen, to turn the game around. Like I said, after the first half, second half, I was just thinking, let's hope it doesn't get any worse. We were a little bit better in the second half, but after the first half, we weren't getting back into that game. But the owners need to go wherever they will go. I don't think they. I think if the owners were going to sell, I think they would have sold now. I read an article a few days ago saying that they received the bids for Manchester United, and they apparently turned it down. I think if things got to the point where, say, six, 7 games in, and we were the bottom half of the league and we'd only picked up a few points, then they potentially could do that. But then it is too late, because we still got the rest of the season. We still got the same type of players who aren't good enough, and everything should have happened as soon as Ten Hag walked through the door. Players who aren't good enough should have been shipped out, bringing in the right quality, and then bringing in the right quality of players. So it's really, really frustrating to watch Manchester United, to watch United play at the moment. And how many of these United players how many of them would have gone in? How many of them would have gone into a Sir Alex Ferguson starting 11? I can only think of maybe one or two that actually would, and that says a lot. When you look at the players that we've had down years, the quality of players that we had under Alex Ferguson, and you look at the quality of players now, it does come down to recruitment. It comes down to the poor decision making from the board and the owners. We need to stand together. Enough is enough. We need to stand together as United fans and make sure that we force the owners out of the football. It's all good and well, protesting and while you're inside the game, while you're inside the ground, but the only way that we'll force the Glazers out as fans is by stop buying shirts, stop going into the mega store, stop going to games. Because I'm reading comments saying, I know everyone who's got tickets for the game against Liverpool a week Monday, boycott the game after a certain time. Let's make sure that our voice is heard. The biggest way that we'll get our voice heard as United fans is stop putting money into the owners' pockets. Because if we're going to games, going to the mega store, spending money inside Old Trafford, it's not going to make any difference to the owners if fans are protesting outside Old Trafford, outside any other stadium, because they're still making their money. So that's the only way that we're going to get these owners out of the football club, is stop going to games, stop buying merchandise, and send out a clear message that we don't want, enough is enough. You need to stop running our football club into the grounds. You need to sell and get, and a real owner needs to come in, an owner that knows about football, who knows who knows what to do to make the football club successful on the pitch again. So leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know what you thought about the video tonight. Smash a like on the video, subscribe, smash a like on the video if you've enjoyed watching. Keep on subscribing to the channel on the bottom right hand corner as well. I'll be back next week to do the Add a Look Ahead video for the Liverpool game, so switch on your notifications so you get to watch it as well. Enjoy the rest of your day, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.